In the boundless expanse where heaven and earth drift like forgotten dreams, the path of cultivation grows ever more perilous, and the line between mortal and immortal thins with each step. In our tale, Renegade Immortal Chapter 445, Chapter 446, the winds of fate stir once more around Wang Lin, whose journey has been forged through blood, loss, and unyielding will. At this juncture, shadows deepen as hidden forces begin to reveal their hands. Old grudges simmer beneath calm waters, and the fragile balance of power trembles on the edge of collapse. Wang Lin stands at a crossroads, where a single choice may echo across the heavens themselves. What secrets lie veiled behind the shifting tides of destiny? And what price must be paid to grasp the next step toward immortality? Let us step into the storm, where legends are written not in ink, but in the clash of souls. A shrill, almost spectral scream sliced through the air, followed by a soft, playful laughter that seemed to echo from the shadows behind Wang Lin. Though no words were spoken aloud, one chilling line lingered clearly in the sound. There is someone to play with me. Wang Lin's brow darkened, a cold shadow of unease passing over his features. He brought his divine sense to bear on the tiny grain of dirt he held, probing its essence. Yet an invisible barrier thwarted him, a pressure that forbade intrusion. His frown deepened. He drew upon his celestial spiritual energy, weaving it into his divine sense, and pushed forward once more. This time, the force yielded, and his awareness penetrated the tiny grain. A sharp, brittle crack like breaking glass rang in his ears. The grain fractured, revealing a flickering blue flame dancing within his palm. Wang Lin's heart skipped. Soul piece, he whispered, his voice almost lost to the wind. This was no ordinary ember. It was the fragment of a mortal's soul, suffused with a hint of the fire element. Its origin was plain, a soul unshaped by cultivation, a mere mortal's essence preserved in spectral form. His mind raced. The scorched earth itself is woven from countless such grains, each a mortal soul that never ascended. And that child, it must be a spirit body, a conglomeration of these scattered pieces. No wonder the celestial sword failed to destroy it. Wang Lin's gaze lingered on the flame before he carefully restored it to its earthen shell. The crack sealed itself with a whisper, the grain lifting obediently back toward the scorched plain as if drawn by some unseen force. A thought struck him. Sichunan said these soul pieces reside in the cultivation planet Crystal. So why find them here at the tomb's threshold? Could my own fragment lie within such a construct of life? He frowned, determination hardening in his eyes, and surged forward. The Suzaku tomb spread before him like an endless expanse of death and legend. Mountains and rivers stretched across the horizon. Yet here, spiritual energy thickened and swirled in ways no mortal formation could rival. Each breath of air vibrated with power, and every stone hummed with ancient resonance. 3 days passed as Wang Lin carved a path through the tomb, moving low like a meteor streaking across a green plain that seemed to stretch without end. No cultivators crossed his path. None. Then, as he adjusted his course, a disturbance rippled through the air. 2 figures appeared, slicing across the sky with unnatural speed. A man and a woman, both startled at the sight of him. Wang Lin's eyes gleamed. Calmly, he veiled his true power, masking himself as a fledgling soul formation cultivator. 2 probing divine senses swept over him, scrutinizing, searching. But once assured, they relaxed and drew closer. They halted a few 100 feet away. The man wore a green robe, torn and marred by battle, streaked with the blackened stains of blood. An enigmatic symbol marked his sleeve, a sign of sect allegiance. The woman beside him bore a face marred by countless pockmarks, grotesque to mortal eyes, yet her figure carried the subtle allure of femininity beneath. "I am Murong Yun," the man called, voice steady, yet wary. "And you, fellow cultivator, who might you be?" Wang Lin's lips curved in a quiet smile. "Qing Mu," he replied, adopting the identity he carried within the soul-refining sect. A glance revealed their cultivation. Murong Yun stood at mid-stage soul formation, while the woman lingered at its early stage. In the outside world, they were formidable, but within the tomb, their strength was middling, mere whispers against the tempest of death that roamed here. Murong Yun's gaze sharpened. "You've just reached soul formation?" he asked, measuring Wang Lin. With a faint, serene smile, Wang Lin confirmed, "Indeed, the soul formation stage is where I now stand." Murong Yun's shoulders eased slightly. This tomb is perilous beyond imagination. Teaming up increases our chances of survival and of reclaiming lost soul pieces. Wang Lin's eyes flickered with interest. You sound confident of retrieving your fragment, he said casually, masking intrigue with mild amusement. Murong Yun chuckled, a sound edged with memory and pride. I was among the first to enter. I saw Qianfeng and the 8-leaf shamans of the Forsaken Immortal Clan penetrate the inner sanctum. Had my cultivation been greater, I would have followed their path without hesitation. Wang Lin's smile was faint. And how did they gain entry? A shadow of mystery crossed Murong Yun's face. The entrance lies within an altar. They sought it tirelessly before finding a path through. Its location is treacherous, and one must wait for reinforcements to increase survival odds. A sharp voice cut through the air. Enough chatter! The woman surged forward, her figure slicing through the sky. Murong Yun exhaled a soft sigh, gazing after her. A pity. Her beauty is masked by misfortune. Wang Lin trailed behind, silent, calculating, his gaze lingering on Murong Yun and the worn emblem that marked his sect and the dark stains of battles past. He inquired softly, "What perils guard the altar, Murong Yun?" Fear flickered in Murong Yun's eyes. From afar, I saw 3 8-leaf shamans and 2 early-stage soul transformation elders fall. None survived, and the assailant remained unseen. Wang Lin's smile hardened into one not of joy, but of subtle mockery. Fate favored you, Murong Yun. The elder's wary gaze met his. Indeed, I was distant, escaped unscathed, yet I know a deadly power resides there. We must assemble greater strength to stand a chance. The 3 advanced swiftly across the endless plains, the grotesque woman leading. On the second day, she halted, coldly scanning the horizon. "There is someone ahead," she announced. In an instant, a sword of brilliant white light tore through the air. Its owner, an elderly man in gray robes, eyes sharp and stormy like lightning, hurtled toward them. A living bolt of twisting lightning pursued him relentlessly, crackling with intent. Wang Lin's eyes sharpened. He recognized the man, an early-stage soul transformation cultivator, one of the 16 who had lingered outside the tomb. The old man called out urgently, "Flee, that thing! It is unnatural!" Murong Yun, calm and unassuming, glanced at the lightning. A mere flicker of his will, and the bolt halted, shrieking in rage before dispersing. The old man, startled, clutched his breath, eyebrows knitting in disbelief. Murong Yun inclined respectfully. "Junior Murong Yun greets senior." The elder's cold gaze ignored him at first, then rested on Wang Lin. "Many thanks, fellow cultivator Seng," he said. The woman behind Murong Yun turned, studying Wang Lin with newfound scrutiny. Wang Lin shook his head, faint amusement on his lips. "It is not I." The elder's eyes narrowed slightly, a trace of understanding flickering. "Let us not linger on introductions. I am Mu Yunhai, fellow cultivator Seng. Do you possess any insight on how to breach the tomb's inner sanctum?" The winds of fate swirled around them, carrying the scent of danger, ancient power, and the promise of a battle that would etch itself into legend. In the shadowed quiet of the early morning, a tense silence hung over the plains. Wang Lin's gaze was fixed, unblinking, on Murong Yun. The air itself seemed to hold its breath, as if sensing the storm about to erupt. Mu Yunhai's heart thumped, uneasy. Murong Yun, calm and composed, folded his hands with practiced elegance. "Junior Murong Yun greets senior," he intoned, voice light but precise, carrying the weight of both respect and caution. Mu Yunhai nodded slowly, the flicker of anticipation lighting his eyes. "Do you know the path into the inner section?" he asked, his tone measured but firm, a seasoned cultivator testing the young's resolve. Murong Yun inclined his head. "Senior Mu, I do know the way, but I ask this in return. Promise that you will lead us in together. If you agree, I will reveal all I know." His voice carried a subtle steel beneath the politeness, a promise wrapped in warning. A spark of excitement crossed Mu Yunhai's weathered features. "Speak, this old man agrees," he said, his voice brimming with an uncharacteristic eagerness. Murong Yun's eyes gleamed with quiet joy. "Then I shall guide the way. Our destination is an altar, the sole gateway to the inner section." He paused, letting the words sink in, aware of the gravity behind them. Mu Yunhai's voice dropped, measured and wary. "Are there dangers there?" Murong Yun's reply was swift, unflinching. "There are. Junior witnessed the demise of several 8-leaf Forsaken Immortal Clan members, 8 in total. Curiously, the first to enter faced no harm, but those who followed met mysterious deaths." A frown furrowed Mu Yunhai's brow. He turned his gaze toward Wang Lin. Fellow cultivator Seng, what is your judgment? Wang Lin's lips curled in a faint, enigmatic smile, a shadow of amusement in his calm eyes. With our strength combined, Senior, even if obstacles block us, our lives should remain intact. Mu Yunhai chuckled softly, the sound warm yet edged with excitement. Little brat, lead the way. Murong Yun's nod was quick, his eyes darting to Wang Lin with a hint of caution. Senior, I did not realize your soul formation stage. I hope you will forgive my earlier misjudgment. With that, he surged forward, a streak of light in the open plain. Behind him, Mu Yunhai motioned for Wang Lin to follow, and the two moved in tandem. The ugly woman lingered for a moment, uncertain, before trailing behind, wary of the speed and the power that hung like a living force around them. Though Murong Yun's flight was swift, it seemed sluggish to Mu Yunhai. After half an hour, he let out a sharp exhale, surged ahead, and seized Murong Yun, turning his attention toward Wang Lin. Fellow cultivator Seng, we shall each take one and race to the altar. If we delay and the cultivation planet crystal shatters, none of us shall survive. With a sudden burst of speed, he vanished into the distance. Wang Lin's eyes flickered with interest. A subtle gesture of his hand, and the woman was enclosed in a veil of mysterious energy. Calm and collected, he streaked forward, the two of them swallowed by the distance between realms. Her voice, delicate yet sharp, broke the wind. Is Senior Seng new? I am, Wang Lin replied, his voice steady, unshaken by the question. Her tone sharpened with caution. Senior, beware of Murong Yun. After that warning, she fell silent, swallowed by the rush of their flight. Through endless plains and rolling hills, guided by Murong Yun, Wang Lin and Mu Yunhai pressed onward. 3 days hence, an immense mountain range emerged below, crowned by a swirling black cloud that churned ominously, radiating a sinister presence. On the western edge, a towering peak pierced the cloud, half shrouded, half revealed, a silent sentinel of peril. Following Murong Yun's lead, Mu Yunhai pierced the black cloud, his divine sense probing the shadows. Wang Lin closed behind. Within the swirling darkness, Wang Lin expelled a shard of black light from his mouth, letting it vanish into the void, then subtly drew an artifact from his bag, hiding it within the folds of the cloud. None noticed. Such was the difference in their cultivation levels. The mountain loomed ethereal, draped in mist and shadow, a supernatural veil concealing a vast altar at its summit. The altar rose like a tower, steps spiraling to a concave pinnacle, black fog curling within as if breathing. Mu Yunhai touched down first, clutching Murong Yun. Wang Lin landed beside them, surveying the scene with sharpened eyes. Dried blood streaked the altar. The air was thick with its metallic scent, and distant wails drifted from the black cloud. Spectral echoes of fallen souls. Wang Lin's gaze hardened. The altar before him deviated from the descriptions of Situnan. It was no valley, but a mountaintop. His expression grew icy. Mu Yunhai spread his divine sense, scanning the surroundings. Junior Murong, is this the altar you spoke of? Murong Yun nodded, confidence in his voice. Senior, it is indeed. Yet caution is vital. Beyond the first 8-leaf shaman, those who followed perished in ways most mysterious. Mu Yunhai's eyes glimmered. He seized Murong Yun, pressing his hand to the youth's forehead. Soul search, he whispered, his tone slicing the air like a sword. Murong Yun shuddered, a groan escaping him as his body trembled violently. Moments later, he collapsed, inert as a lifeless heap. This one speaks truth, Mu Yunhai announced. With a single leap, he ascended the altar. Fellow cultivator Seng, guard me while I scout. Wang Lin's lips twitched, amusement flickering. Mu Yunhai reached the summit in an instant. His eyes caught the concave pinnacle, light flickering with recognition, and joy broke across his face. This is it! Fellow cultivator Seng, I go ahead! He stepped into the altar's center and vanished. The ugly woman hesitated, weighing her steps, casting glances between Wang Lin and Murong Yun. Wang Lin's lips curled in a sneer. He turned toward Murong Yun, a faint flick of his hand releasing a hidden spell. Murong Yun's eyes snapped open. Black gas surged, enveloping his face, twisting his features into something fierce. How did you see through me? His voice crackled with mysterious power. Wang Lin remained calm. Answer a few questions first, and I will tell you, he said, voice like steel cloaked in silk. Interesting, Murong Yun replied, eyes alight. You answer first. Wang Lin's gaze sharpened. Cultivators guard cleanliness, keeping spare garments, Rarely does one appear in such disarray. Murong Yun's lips curved in scorn. Is that all? Wang Lin's tone remained steady, piercing. Clothing worn and aged beyond the newcomers, and other subtle tells, what is your purpose? I seek none for myself, Murong Yun sneered, only to prevent you from acquiring the cultivation planet crystal. And are these truly all the points? Wang Lin exhaled, letting subtle disdain edge his voice. One last sign, the mark upon your robes. With a surge of celestial spiritual energy, a spell erupted from his right hand, blazing toward Murong Yun. The black fog that was Murong Yun contorted and collapsed under the celestial strike, dissolving into the surrounding darkness. Wang Lin made no pursuit, letting the mockery linger in his eyes. A scream tore through the black cloud as Murong Yun's fragmented form condensed, reforming with a visage twisted in fury. You are no ordinary soul transformation cultivator. From the depths of the swirling blackness, a massive 30-foot banner unfurled, rippling like a living wave. Soul fragments swirled in and out, drawn to the 10 primary souls anchoring it, including the fierce golden-purple Qilin. Wang Lin had refined this 1 billion soul flag along his journey, merging other flags into it. Now it housed 28 primary souls, an arsenal of immense power. Murong Yun's voice hissed, black fog surging like a storm. Do you think to trap me so? He charged, twisting into the darkness toward Wang Lin's very being. Wang Lin's eyes hardened, voice calm but commanding. Seal! Another flag erupted, a tempest of restrictions forming a cage. In seconds, the storming black fog was captured, compressed into a sphere no larger than a fist, rows of invisible barriers sealing the malignant form within. The first clash of wills had ended, but the storm, the altar, the black clouds spoke of trials yet to come.